Welcome everyone to the latest episode of the Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka the Gosfather.
I'm Christian, aka Sudoku45.
I'm Preston, aka Funkadelic Jedi.
Yay. We have a new one for you, everybody. As always, we'd like to kick things off by checking in with Preston over in Preston's comment corner, where he gets to read all the comments that people have left. Comments.
You know what? I was going into, I'm like, we don't have a comment. I totally forgot that someone actually used Instagram to send us a message. So let's go ahead and pull
I feel like this is a lie.
It's not a lie. This past Friday, Tori wrote in or sent us a message on Instagram, which you guys can do too. We are on Instagram. Preston can edit this. I want to find out the Testing Room Pod. So Instagram, you can find us under Testing Room Pod, all one word. Or we occasionally post. Oh, let's see here. She sent us an article that is talking about the first look at Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla one-shot comic.
That's all that.
She says, I know you don't check the gram often, so we'll see when you get this. Can we get a side quest episode with Jake where this is discussed? Because I think that would be fun. Who doesn't want a Godzilla story time? I hope everyone loves the idea. Classic literature clearly needs more kaiju in it. Truly, though, thought it was a joke and Googled, and the Godzilla website proved me wrong. Now I can't wait for the series, so... yeah, that is actually going to be a comic book, kind of like in the same vein, I guess, of like the Donald Duck one. But Godzilla's been doing a lot of crossovers and like just weird like mishmashes with IPs lately. But I have seen that one in the pull lists of comic books.
I'm interested to see what they do, because the Donald Duck ones, they or not
Replacing
Donald,
a
Scrooge
character
Scrooge McDuck, yeah.
Yeah.
They replace the character, right? So like Scrooge McDuck would be the main character in that story, and they kind of go through it that way. I don't see them replacing Romeo with Godzilla.
No, because the
which would
cover,
be funny, arguably
the cover is
funnier, by the
Romeo
way.
and Juliet with Godzilla in the background. So I have a feeling it's gonna be the Romeo and Juliet story with like what would happen if like Godzilla showed up, kind of deal.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. So
It would be
that's interesting.
arguably funnier if Godzilla was Juliet.
Yeah,
So-
and Romeo was just super enamored by the big giant
Yes.
kaiju. Yeah,
And then, like, Juliet didn't even say words. Like, Romeo could actually have, like, the Shakespearean words, but Godzilla was just, like, roar every time. It would be
I do
so
like there was
funny.
there was that I actually think it's funnier when they just let, like, or if there's comics where they let Godzilla just talk, like just like he's a normal person, like, or all of the kaiju. Like there's that one comic that I say, there was like somebody did like it was like a fan thing, but it was King Ghidorah, and it's like him trying to talk to Godzilla, and then in the middle gets cut off by Godzilla just saying "fuck you," and then just like shooting a beam at him. Yeah,
That's amazing.
But yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Tori, for messaging us on the Instagram. She's like, I don't know when you get this. I saw it pop up. I'm like, well, the notifications work just fine. So, yes, we do get our notifications for our Instagram messages as well. Maybe it'll cause me to want to put more posts on there. I might do a post tonight. We'll see what we do. But yeah, that's kind of what we got.
I'm sure Jake would be happy to talk about it. I don't know if that's one that his shop is getting. Like, I don't know if it's an exclusive to, like, just online with Godzilla stuff right now, or if it is, like, a diamond pressed comic going to everybody. I don't know how that is. But...
Every once in a while, I'll go through, just scroll through like all the releases coming out, like for a couple months, just to kind of see if there's like new something I want. Like I saw the Lord Mall or whatever is like having a prequel issue comic to the show that's coming out on Disney Plus. So I found that one out. But yeah, I have seen that one on there, so I'm pretty sure it's orderable.
Okay.
I just don't know if it's a one shot or if it's going to be actually like a series. We'll have to take a look into that.
I mean, it's got to be a one shot. You're not getting more than one out of Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla.
Yeah, who knows? We'll hit up Jake and see what we can do about that. But yes, I told him like, yep, I will bring that to the table. And he's like, I'm sure that'll be something that would be fun to do. And yeah, we'll keep your eyes and ears out for that episode for sure.
yeah, that could be fun.
Cool. All right. Well, who wants to kick things off with their weeks?
I'll go. I don't
Preston,
have
why were you
much.
so hesitant to say anything? You like gave Christian a weird look just now.
I
like,
don't give anyone in particular a weird look.
you-
I'm just kind of looking this way.
all right, all right.
I've just been playing the new Trails. So the new Trails is out. Trails Beyond the Horizon. Everybody saw this coming. It's not, but that's all I've played. I have not played a single new thing. Other than that, I'm just under the 50% mark, I think, for it. And the only thing that, I mean, there's nothing that I can say that's not like a spoiler outside of just like the most general impression. So, mechanically, I think they have added even more things to make it so that doing turn-based battles is less important. And that you can just use that active turn or the active combat to just basically get through like everything except boss fights, really. But like everything else you can just kind of fucking let it go. They've added new things inside the turn-based battles that when you do them, they also can be heavily weighted in your favor. Like there's these this resource that you can spend that will let you take multiple turns with your character in a row and just like shove it to the front of the order to do like certain things in a row. It makes it so like casting magic happens instantly and all sorts of it's wild. But so that has been cool to see some of the new systems and stuff. And then it also makes me wonder. So with this game, now the US is officially caught up with Japan. So there is no game that's out in Japan that's not out here, anything like that.
Now. Okay.
Yeah, for the end of it. So according to the series like creator, he has said that this is what sets up the end. Like they were like,
Okay.
This next whatever batch of games is it after this Trails is done.
Well, there's 2, 5, 8. It's setting up that arc.
No, he
right?
said that. Yeah, but he's
I'm joking.
but from the Famitsu interview, it sounded like he's thinking like maybe 2 or 3.
No, it's like a trilogy, maybe one more to cap it off, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So
Yeah.
what would that
So
make it
then
total?
and then
That'd be 21.
there were 22. Yeah.
That's an insane amount of games, which is impressive.
It is. It's also like it's one of those things where it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Like it's been I've been playing these games forever, but like it'll be kind of wild if, like that last game comes out and it's like everyone's like, "Well, that was okay." You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whatever.
There's no big fanfare for the ending. Yeah.
But so far from what people have said about this particular entry that sets up the beginning of the end, everybody is pretty excited so far. So we'll see. But yeah, so there's that. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, right. So it makes me interested to see with the Trails in the Sky Part 2 remake that's coming out this year. It makes me wonder if they're going to bring some of the quality of life stuff that's in this game to that entry.
Or if they're going to stick with chapter 1 and just kind of maybe keep that going until like the actual
and just
series
try.
changed.
Yeah, I don't know
in general.
Right, because some of the quality of life stuff already made its way to that first one. Because like that first remake does not play anything like the original is a pure turn-based game. There is nothing, no active stuff like that. So it's already put in some of that stuff. So I'm wondering how much will pull, if anything. It might, like Preston, to your point, they might just continue to keep the same thing they've gotten with that first remake, and just for ease of development time, just kind of maybe add a little bit here and
having
there.
new
But
types of actions and stuff like that, it'll probably just keep what it has as like a solid foundation.
yeah,
If I had to guess, yeah.
yeah, and then I'm also they're talking about, because it's made by a different developer. Like the Famicom is looking over, or Falcom is looking over the development and making sure that everything is what it should be, but they have a different studio that is handling like all of the development for it. So it'll make me interested to see too if they get the second part out, if they are gonna do the third game in that series, or if they're going to skip and go straight to the Azure and Zero game, because those are the only two left that would be in that old art style. Everything else from that point forward is all 3D. So I don't know. The third game is like this weird, like, kind of like spin-off. It's not really a spin-off, but it's mostly like, hey, this whole game is going to happen in a pocket dimension where you get tons and tons of backstory on characters that are in the Sky games. But no one outside of you, the player, getting a ton of extra information about the world and the lore and everything like that, no character is in a different spot than when they left in the end of the second game. So I don't know what they'll do with that one. I would like to see it because it's very cool, but I don't know if they'll end up doing it because it never even got an English release up until the Steam version, and then they finally like brought it over. But before that, you were just relying on fan translations and then getting like a PSP copy.
Sure.
But yeah, so I've been playing that. It's very good. I'm excited to keep going. And then the only thing I did was I did a little bit of repair work on my, I have it floating around here.
PSP.
On the old PSP.
I knew based on the way you were talking on his stream, and then you said I did repair work. I was like, yep, it's got to be the PSP.
Yeah. So the laser eye was going bad. Yeah. So I had to replace that and get that going. And so now it reads discs and UMD movies just fine. So, yeah. But that's really
now
it,
you can watch
man.
Advent Children on the PSP now. Again.
I can, and
do you actually have a movie? Do you actually have a movie?
I have multiple, actually, because a mutual friend of all of ours has gotten me some random ones whenever he sees them, and they're ones that I would have never asked, but he is mostly like part of the joke.
Is one of them Paul Blart Mall Cop? I feel like that. I feel
No,
like that's a
but
PSP
one of them
movie.
is Man in the House with
Kevin
I'm
James.
blanking on his name now. Yes, thank you. No, not Kevin James. The dude from the other dude from Men in Black, not Will Smith.
Oh,
Tommy Lee Jones?
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Man in the House with Tommy Lee Jones. And then the live-action Dragon Ball movie. I have that as well.
It's probably the best place to watch
actually,
it.
That's a treasure. That's a treasure.
Is it Evolution?
And just to be very clear here, sealed.
Oh.
Oh,
So you worth some money.
Sealed
I'll be
Dragon
watching
Ball
that these days.
Evolution.
yeah, that's incredible.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Where they just made Goku a white high school kid.
Yeah. Timu Elijah Wood.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe he found that. But yeah.
You know, though, I'm not surprised the one you did find was a sealed version. Right? Like, if anything deserves to be not opened and watched. It
Yeah,
is
right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch this.
I know. But yeah, and I did have a weird experience, right? So this will work because now Alex is part of our going back to the past group here as far as games is concerned. So I went to a shop that was kind of near me, maybe like 20 minutes out, because I was like, I've been trying to do some scouting, because there's one store that Preston and I always go to when he's here that's like more in the city, but I was like, man, there's got to be something
like
else.
that.
Like, it can't be just that one.
A good local
There
place
doesn't-
for you. Yeah.
based on what Atlanta has and doesn't have, there doesn't have to be another one.
Yeah, some places just don't have good ones.
Dude, it's what it's feeling like right now. So let me tell you this though. So, I think I've told you guys this before, but at this point, I have every Monster Hunter game that has been made except for number 2. So number 2, Monster Hunter 2 was only released in Japan on the PS2, and then they brought it with all of its updates that they did.
You have it in Ultimate, right?
No, so there was an Ultimate one that Japan is like the G rank version got released in Japan only, but then on the PSP, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is
yes.
Monster Hunter 2 with all of its updates. So there's the same way that Monster Hunter Freedom period is Monster Hunter 1 on the PSP that got like, so when Monster Hunter 1 got released in the PS2, we only got that version. That was it. And then they released a G rank version of the game in Japan only. The one on PSP, Monster Hunter Freedom by itself, that's what that is for us. So for Monster Hunter 2, so I've been looking for Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is basically what it boils down to. So there's this place like 20 minutes out, and everybody's been giving it pretty good reviews and all this other stuff. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll go check it out, right? So I go over there and looking around, looking at some stuff, and I'm like, oh, they've got some okay stuff. Like nothing that I was looking for on my list at first, but I was like, it looks like they have some cool things here, and all of it seems pretty reasonably priced. So I was like, that's not bad. Then I find Monster Hunter Freedom Unite sitting in their little case like they have it sitting there with the manual, full box, everything. And I was like, oh shit, well, I just happen to be looking for this, so there we go. So then I go to look at it, and I'm like, oh, and it's like $18 less than what it should be. And so I was like, well, I certainly won't be the ones. No. And so I was like, well, I certainly won't be the one to tell them that they've priced this incorrectly. So I'm going to get you guys tell me how you feel about this when I finish this story here, because I have my own theories here. So I opened it, I asked them.
Going.
So I tell them, I was like, hey, I want this. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, for sure. So he comes out and he unlocks it, and he hands it to me, and he's like, yeah, go ahead and take a look at it. So I'm like looking around in the case, whatever, open it up, and as soon as I open it up, a Naruto PSP game is in there. And so I was like, oh, hey, man, actually, you guys got the wrong game in here. And he, like, looks at it, and he was like, oh, shit. And he was like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll go take a look.
Go find that Naruto
so he goes
game.
And shows,
see if it's in there.
No, but that's the thing, is that the Naruto game wasn't in the case, right? So they had a bunch of PSP games, but this was the only one that had a full case and manual. So then, and I looked through, and none of the, like, that raw disc was not sitting on there. So then he goes and he shows his buddy that was also working, that seemed like, the other guy seemed like he might have been like a manager or something. This was just like a regular employee that I was dealing with. So then he tells him, and then he's like, well, I don't know. He's like, that's really strange. He was like, but maybe somebody, when they were cleaning it, like they just didn't put the right thing in, like they just got mixed up. He's like, just check the drawer back there, because typically with cases, we'd leave the games. Like, they take the GameStop approach, where the disc is always behind the counter, and then, the game, just the case is up front, because they don't want people to steal it or whatever. So, fair. So he goes, he pulls it up, and he goes, yep, I found it, it's right here. So then he takes the Naruto game out, and he puts the game in, and then he goes, okay, so cool, now you can check it out. And I was like, no, it should be fine. But then in my head, something was just like, oh, you should. I mean, this is fucking weird already. Like, I've never had that happen to me before in any of the games I've bought. And so I was like, well, I'll just take another look. So I pop open the case again, and again, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is not in there, but Monster Hunter Freedom is.
Oh.
And so I am like, hey man, I'm really not trying to be annoying. I was like, but you have the wrong game again. I was like, so this is Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is the case. I was like, but the disc that's in here is Monster Hunter Freedom, the first one. Mm-hmm. So it's not the same
Close,
game. Like,
no.
I was like, Unite would still be on this little disc at the bottom here. And the guy was like, oh my god. He's like, you're right. Okay. He's like, maybe we just had like this loose copy. I'm gonna go look again. And I was like, yeah, man, no worries. And he's like, well, it's a little bit of a worry, because if somebody took the wrong game in on trade, then that's a problem. And I was like,
for you, not for me.
Right. Thank you,
Yeah.
dude. So Preston, that's exactly what I said to it. I go, I was like,
for me.
I was just talking about for me. This is a whole problem that you have to sort out on your own. I'm just saying for me today. And he was like, right. And then he like walks off, and I was like, what? So then he gets in, he starts going through the thing, and he's like, yeah, man, it's not in here. And then he asks the other guy comes in, he looks, he's like, yeah, they must have taken the wrong one on trade. And I was like, okay. And I was like, no worries, man, I'm just gonna take off then, like, whatever. And then I, leave and go home, whatever. But the entire time here's what I was thinking. I was like, either it is just purely incompetence, right? And they looked, opened it up, saw the words Monster Hunter on the top, saw the words Monster Hunter on the disc, closed it and said, fuck it, must be the same
said
thing.
freedom.
Took it.
I could see how you would miss the
Right.
Unite part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally could see that. I was like, but also like having a Naruto game in there in the like I was like, either it's just complete incompetence. I was like, or you guys knew that you had gotten taken for a ride, and you were kind of just hoping that somebody would buy it sight unseen and then walk away. Because if you leave, right, like, because most retro stores don't have a return policy of, like, if it's damaged, like, if it doesn't work, you can bring it back and
You
they'll
don't want
deal
to go
with
on
it
and
then,
play
right?
it, beat it, take it back, and then get your money back.
Right. But if I leave and I go, hey, man, like, and then I come back an hour later or whatever, and I'm like, hey, man, I got home, open this up, wrong game's in there, that shop rightly probably would be like, well, that's got nothing to do with me because, like, I can't verify that you didn't switch it out when you got home, right? So I was like, either it's just complete incompetence or you guys were being shady.
Did they have the loose discs out to where you could see them? Like, or were they still behind something where you had to ask to see a loose
So
disc?
they had some loose discs behind the case of, like, the more expensive games that they were trying to
That's why I thought it was weird
Right.
that
get people to buy.
$18 was in the case. That's what was strange to
Right.
me. Maybe because it had a case, they put it in there.
Well, I
But
was
like,
gonna say,
why would you put
is it
$18 game in
possible-
the case?
Well, is it
Yeah.
possible that they did what they did for you and they handed it to somebody, said, go ahead and check it out, and then they grabbed a loose disc like Naruto, put it in the case, and then pocketed Monster Hunter? I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna do
So
it.
that,
And
I
then
mean,
bounced that
maybe,
way.
right? Yeah.
No way to tell.
That's... But it was... Either way, I just found... Because let me look and see. I'm trying to...
That's not where I thought you were going with that. I thought, as you were talking about price, it was going to be one of those situations where they decided to look up the market value before you purchase and change it on you.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Oh, no, 'cause
They
I
actually
would-
looked
I
at
would-
price
the one-
charting. It's actually
so
a
the one
$100
in-
game. Yeah.
The one place that I went when I was back home and got all those games, I got
pulled
the
that
group
shit on you.
That,
Yeah.
well, they just didn't have prices, and they said we follow the market price for everything. But what they did is they're like, here's the app we use. You can like tap on our website
look
and
for the
you can
game.
scan, so you know before you buy. I was like, oh, okay, and I still found things that were like
Sure.
$10 and $7. That's fine, but like I could also see where somebody's going like, oh, well, let me just double check on this. Like they're looking something up, be like, oh, well, it's actually a little bit more. It's like, that's where I thought I was going.
No, but so because Freedom Unite is not even that expensive. Like, it's only $25 already.
It's just...
So they had it down. It was like at this like I said, it was like they had it marked for like 7. So I was like, oh, like that's super cheap. And then I thought, well, maybe it's damaged or maybe it's missing something, and maybe that's why. But then I didn't like it. All looked good all the way up until I opened it and saw the thing. So I was like, I don't know, man. Either way, though, when I was leaving, I was like, I still don't know that I would be back, even if it was just incompetence, because like
That's bad.
part of it is like I just don't like. I shouldn't be explaining things to you when I'm coming in to...
But mistakes do happen. Like,
Right, but it could just be that, right?
Maybe
so,
a
I
new
don't
kid
know.
was
It
just, smoking a J in the back, came in to put some games away. And he's like, fucking yeah, dude. Fucking talking to his friend about some stupid shit. Fucking put Naruto and Monster Hunter. Put this shit up there in the case, dog. It's $7.
No.
Fuck it, put it in the case.
I'm gonna say there's a better chance if they keep some things out and some things back that somebody took a look at it, pocketed that, put a cheap game
Yeah,
inside,
and
said,
just
you know what, never
No way to
mind,
know.
and went.
Yeah,
on.
I don't want it. Thanks. Yeah,
You're
I didn't
right,
think of it.
Preston. You're right. There's no way to know. However, given your theory and my theory, there is one that's more legitimate than the other.
I mean, I was just joking about the kid getting high, but like it could just be someone just making a mistake easily. Just,
Yeah. It could. So
Yeah. Now, there was an extra part of the story at the end that will lead more into like a larger discussion, I think, that I can save for the end if you want. But anyway, yeah, that was really my week.
Okay.
all right, Preston, you want to go? Or you want me to go?
I mean, I can go. I got a little bit of a week. So we.
I know you're clutching it over there, like you don't want to let it go.
No. I'm just making funny faces. So we played the game that we're going to talk about today. And then I did play a little bit more Yote. I wanted to finish Rising before we did that because I am finding myself, if I play 2 character action games, I am mixing up what buttons do like mad crazy. Like both have a parry, both have a heavy attack and combos, both have a light attack, both do have the secondary weapon that you could use if you wanted to, or how to switch weapons. And like, I need to like, so like yesterday, I was like, I just need to finish it. I just need to do it all at once. And so I finally finished it, and then I got to play a little bit more Yote. Yote is great. There's so much about that, like the cinematography, if you will, in this game. Like you jump on your horse to go across like your next objective, and like it does a zoom out. It's got a little bit of a widescreen vignette on it, and like you just get that whole landscape. Like that whole Yote area, like is just incredibly beautiful. Especially when you have Yote, the Mount Yote in the background. It looks really good. You'll be talking to somebody, and they just kind of, they do their own little camera angles and stuff, but there's always a really nice looking background that you're kind of hanging out in. And that game, it just looks incredible. Foliage all over the place, doing stuff. Incredible looking game.
Hopefully the art director and that stuff wasn't the person that was fired over their social
Yeah,
media
well,
posts.
one of the art people were. But yes, no, hopefully
Yeah.
not the one that was doing that. But yes, that's been looking great. I've got a lot more upgrades to the wolf, if you will. So like one of like the first missions, like side missions you find, you're just like, okay, there's this cave. There's a whole bunch of these soldier dudes outside of it, and you kind of hear like the growling and barking of a wolf. So you go over there. They're bad guys. You take down the bad guys. The wolf is still pretty timid about you, but you kind of like talk to it a little bit, and then it kind of like kind of sniffs you a little bit, and it's like, okay, but he's still pissed off. So the wolf starts going, and she's like, oh, so you need my help. So you go follow the wolf, and it's an encampment where they got more wolves in cages because I guess they took everybody. But that one wolf was like taking dudes down left and right. When you go to do that mission, that's when you unlock the occasional assistance of the wolf. So when you're doing
So
like
you unlock an omniscient wolf.
yeah, you like your pal who just showed up. He's not your pet. He's not going to hang out with you as you go everywhere. He's not like a dog, but like he will show up.
Free will.
Yeah, he will show up to assist you based on the dice roll if you'll get him or not. So like right now, like I have it to where like you do a standoff and you kind of wait and you'll kind of go after. Occasionally, when you do that, the dog or the wolf will go after one other person in the background. So like you'll unsheath your sword and the wolf will come out of the corner of the screen and just take down the other guy. And you can do more of these wolf side quests as you go throughout the levels to kind of like get more chances to get more. Sometimes it'll just come and actually assist you in an entire like little battle area. So that was super fucking cool.
So in the first game, you would meet like people and they'd be like, "Hey, here's a lone archer, here's a lone Ronin," and like you used to know them before the war. And so this game, they're just like, "Fuck that! Here's the
wolf.
the Assassin's Creedification of the game. Now you can bond with your wolf."
So that's very cool. I did like that a lot. That was a nice little surprise. And then we went into a different area. So this one that was gated off. It's so that hey, this is gonna be a story section that you'll go into. And every time you go to a new location, it's like zooms it back out a little bit, gets you a real nice look at the scenery to chew up. And then this time the wolf kind of shows up to the side. It's like, oh, so you're coming over here too, huh? And the wolf just kind of keeps on going on its way after it looks up at you, and she goes, happy hunting. And then you just go off on your way to do your own thing. Towards like, oh no, the wolf's gonna be in this area with you to like have those dice rolls of assistance. So I thought that was fucking rad. But yeah, I'm loving that game. Now that I'm not playing a character action game, I'll be able to like put more time into that one and not have to worry about getting my wires crossed. But yeah, Yote is great. Yote is great. I still haven't finished or defeated any of the Yote 6 outside of the introductory one because I'm getting so sidetracked with all these nice little side quests that don't seem like, go get me some wood over here, or go do that, or go send a piece of mail to this person. They all seem to have a little bit more of a story to it, which is really nice. But I am going after the Oni. So there's that, and it had a really cool story beat right before I went, which I will not spoil. But yeah, that game is phenomenal. Great. Moving on, we are still doing Star Wars Sundays. We've played and finished Star Wars Racer's Revenge. So if you got a physical copy, that can jailbreak a PS5 for you. It's worth hundreds of dollars. Or you can spend like $7 and get it on the PSN network digitally. So this is a sequel to Pod Racer. This is set during the time of Attack of the Clones Episode 2. And you can play as Episode 2 Anakin, and they got a bunch of the other characters from Episode 1 Racer. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun. We finished the tournament, which I guess is the full game. You can do like single tracks, knockout stuff, but just playing through like the tourney, if you will, with one character, that took us under 2 hours. Just south of 2 hours. So I got gold in all of those. We unlocked Sebulba, who is the racer with Revenge, so I don't know why he wasn't just available to us at the beginning. But yeah, they have the Star Wars title, the scroll, if you will, and it's all about how, Sebulba finally gets to enact his revenge with Anakin, and it's like, you don't get to play him until you finish the tourney the first time. So I thought that was odd. But yeah, that's full on Attack of the Clones, Anakin. I'm just guessing I'm going to do a pod racing tournament. I'm like, you got some time in between Jedi duties and school
Did he go back to say hi to his mom while he was doing those races?
I asked the same question.
There is no story about when this happened, anything like that. I don't know if this is before or after his mom's death. I'm assuming before, because he is not very sad. So I'm assuming this is all before everything. Why he's not trying to visit his mom? But
in the Twitch chat, I was like, "Hey, do you know if where this is at in the timeline for as far as Episode 2 is concerned?" I was like, it'd be really kind of uncool for him to do another tournament and not wager his mom's freedom this time around. And then Preston was like, well, Preston was like, he goes,
well, wait.
It could be happening in between because the dude that his mom was with did buy her freedom and she was just hanging out with him and they were just married for a while all the way up until the Tusken Raiders came and cut his legs off and then took her. And so Preston made a good point. They could conveniently place him there. Now, to your point, Alex, I think that if she's free and so is her husband and he comes in and does a race or whatever, you could maybe pop in for dinner.
They're in Tatooine.
See them in the stands cheering you on.
Something.
Anything.
Right? Something.
But
yeah.
So who knows? The only story bit is that bit in the title scroll of Sebulba wants his revenge. Other than that, there's zero story to this. Absolutely. No
Seems a bit like a glaring plot hole right there. So
I don't think they care.
That.
I really don't think they care. I think they just wanted to make another pod racing game.
I would say that's probably a fact too.
It does look a little bit better. So if you want to kind of check that out, we're going to be putting that up on the youtube.com/testing room. At the testing room on the YouTubes. If you missed it on Twitch. But yeah, it was fun. Like I said, under 2 hour game. There's not a whole lot to it. I'm almost positive that Episode 1 Racer has a lot more to it. But I think I gave that one a little bit above average. I think I gave that a 3.5. Also, later on, I don't know if it's going to be out or not yet. I want to do a little bit more harder edit on it. So that way it's not a bunch of me just kind of pondering and saying a whole bunch. But we did, after that episode, we immediately went into a tier list for the games that we've played so far. That is including The Force Unleashed 2, because we did that video game book club. I'm not playing that again for the stream. That's all there on the YouTube if you want to kind of go and see our opinions on that one.
Although if you did do it, you should play the Wii version since it's a
yes, that's true. If I do it, let's. You know what? One of these days when I do get a Wii finally or a Wii U, I'll go ahead and we'll make that the Force Unleashed 2 that we'll play.
And you just get a Wii U. There's no reason to get it.
Yeah, no, I need a reason to play. I need a reason to actually use that Star Fox Zero. So yeah, no, we'll keep an eye out. But yeah, we did the tier list of all 23 games that we've played so far. And there's still a large handful left. So
So many.
We went to
So
Tier Maker,
many.
and it was like games between, I can't remember the years, but essentially now and like
It was like 1982
Atari
present,
eras.
I think.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if I want to do any of the Ataris. We may have a day to it's Atari Day, and we get a whole bunch of those emulators out there to just see it.
I think some of the Vector ones could still be cool. I don't know that any
It's
like
all
the,
cool to
you
touch
know,
for a
like,
second, but I don't need to beat those games. I don't need to sit there and like
Yeah.
beat my head against little squares, shooting little squares at each other. So I'm good on that.
Right, but that's what I meant by the Vector ones. Like the Vector ones would be
You
like
would be like in a ship, with
right,
the
like and there's like the
window and
lines
you're
like shooting
yeah.
out
Sure.
and doing shit like
Yeah.
yeah.
More interesting. So, but yeah, we got plenty there left. So, if you want to check it out, take a look on the YouTube to see if we put that up yet. I'll have it up within a week or so. I just want to do a little more editing on it, so that way it's a little more concise, a little less just kind of watching me decide things. Yeah, that was fun. I don't know what we're gonna play next. Maybe we'll play Episode 1 Racer just so I can compare them back to back. Maybe we'll play Star Wars Demolition. Maybe we play Master of Terrascasi. I don't know. If you guys got any input, feel free to let me know. We'll mess around and check one out.
Is Episode 1 Racer in that little box you got back there? Mm-hmm. Above your head? Yeah, you do.
It's in there, right there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't know. I'm still waiting for you to get around to KOTOR 2. So
KOTOR 2 we're probably gonna do like soonish, but like I want to get a couple of these smaller ones out of the way because
Smaller
KOTOR 2 is
ones,
gonna
then
be a
that's fair.
good chunk of 2026. We will play it this year.
Well-
I will get through it, but yeah, it's.
if you're already in the racing mo- I mean, you might as well
That's
just
what I'm
go
kinda
back and
feeling.
look
Yeah,
at
I
Episode
mean,
1 Racer.
I've been dabbling with some Redout 2 here and there. I'm like, I just want to race. And Galactic
And Episode
Racers
1
talking
Racer
about
was-
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen like I want Galactic Racer to be out. Is what I want to do. So when that happens, I will be playing that on stream, 1000%.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, we might end up playing Episode 1 Pod Racer this coming week. So keep an eye out for the VOD on YouTube on that one. Other than that, not really any other games. Although Free Run did start up Season 2. Episode 1, I think, beats some of the high score or view count record that the first season hit. That first episode, even though it's short, is incredible. It has a whole fucking lot of heart. I fucking loved it. I'm so glad Free Run's back. It makes me very happy. It puts my mind in a very good spot, knowing what all is happening in the world around us. Like it's a very good one of those of to get me out of this world kind of deal. So it's
Ew. Just sit and
love.
suffer. Sit and suffer like Christian and I were talking
give
about
me
today
23
during
minutes of
work.
happiness, and then I'll go back to the fucking horrible world. But it's very good, and the end credits of each episode is like an anime fashion. It's gonna be the same one, but this is all hand drawn with colored pencil, so it looks very very cool, very well done. I love it. I wrapped up on a couple of them that I kind of just left a few episodes. And I just, not that I forgot about them, but I just didn't keep up with them enough, and then I had a couple episodes left. Finished My Hero Academia. That is the final. I finished the battle that happened at the very end, and they had like 2 episodes of like, here's where everybody's going, here's what everybody's doing. I totally forgot about those 2 episodes too. So I went through them. Real
I gotta
good.
finish as well.
Did it give me a little choke up? Yes, of course it did. It's all about friends and family and how we're all connected and how we all love each other. Blah, blah, blah. It's great. It's wonderful. And then I also finished. Well, I
So
guess
do you feel like this? We won't do a spoiler thing because I know
It's a
Alex
lot,
hasn't seen
yeah.
it, but I only vaguely know because I got it spoiled for me ages ago. But I felt as though that people who, when they were talking about their feelings on the ending,
the manga.
I thought that people were being dramatic about.
I think they were too. I think it was
But don't
just
you-
that was a good ending.
Don't you think that's gonna happen when you have it's a beloved show,
Any
it's
series.
a beloved manga, it's any series,
Yeah, but-
right?
Goes on
And
that
you're
long.
trying to stick to the landing. Yeah.
No, I don't think so because I think that there's plenty of endings for these bigger shows that people do not feel that way. As an example, like one that Preston and I talk about all the time, like no one is conflicted or feels weird about the ending of Cowboy Bebop.
So, but that's a shorter.
But that was
right?
short.
That's
It was
like
2
odd
seasons,
season, right?
I'll go for
That's not years going on.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right? No one was upset about that one. And that was a long ass show, and everybody was fine. It was a long manga and everything. Like I don't think it happens all the time. Is my point. But that being said, for My Hero, I think people were being dramatic. Like it feels like that ending didn't feel like it came out of left field for me. Unlike the Attack on Titan one, where I was like, that ending feels out of place.
Yeah.
But like the My Hero one makes sense to me.
Yeah, it felt
I saw something on Attack on Titan the other day, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I was going to send it to you.
It was the creator saying that he doesn't
where
think he has another story like that in him ever again.
No, but it also said in that, didn't he say like he kind of regrets the decision of how he ended?
Oh, I don't know.
And
I just saw that there was the thing because I didn't see the full translated article, but I just saw him say like people were like, "So what's next?" And he was like, "I might do some smaller stuff." He's like, "But I don't think I could ever do anything like that."
There was something in that where it was like he regretted the way he ended it, wish he could go back and retcon a bit of it, which could not happen because you've done it now. But
what he would want to retcon though. I don't understand. I need to read up
For
on those
Attack on
articles. I don't know what people were upset about the ending for My Hero.
No.
He's
Sorry,
no,
Attack
no.
on Titan.
Alex talking about for Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. The My Hero, everybody was fine with that. As
Well,
far as like the creator,
Creators, yes.
Yeah, the creator was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they did a great job with it, I felt. But at the very end of it, at the very end credit scene, like, My Hero will be back. It's My Hero Beyond. I guess so I don't know if they're starting a new show or what they're doing, but apparently there's more that's going to happen because, of course.
I mean, you have
They're going to go the Naruto route with it.
The world didn't end, so I mean, spoiler.
And guess what? I'm out. I don't care.
Yeah,
you unlock this great world if you want for the people to care. Like you can go back. I mean, you have heroes that have been around a lot longer than just Deku and the people around there, right? Like,
and you got them what they're doing,
into.
with their because they're all still heroes. So like it's. I'm not gonna go into who's still alive and who isn't.
I mean, you saw on that show how many one for alls, all for one for all. Either way, the good one. You saw how many have had that power in history, right? So you could go so far back if you want.
Yeah, if you want to do like prequel stuff, just like those heroes for One for All. Yeah. But yeah, that was good. And then I didn't finish it because apparently the movie finishes it, and I haven't watched it yet because it's 2 hours long. By Kaiju number 8, I went through all of what season 2 is. Which is really good. It's a great show. And then it kind of ended abruptly. I'm like, that's kind of strange. I'm like, okay, well, the last episode was in 2025. And I looked it up. I'm like, oh, no, there's a 2-hour movie that caps everything off for it. So I'll be getting to that later on. But yeah, Kaiju number 8, still great.
Did they do that with Demon Slayer? Didn't they have a movie this past year that was kind of ending it?
That was...
No, they have 3 movies.
Yeah, they have 3 movies of that. And then I think they had Jujutsu Kaisen had a movie that kind of bridged into... information, but that's my week.
Okay. I dabbled a lot this week, so I had rematch, of course, and some other stuff, but I got a hold of a few other games, so I dabbled a little bit in the Dark Souls remake.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, Dark Souls. Is that the first one before Demon Souls, or is Demon Souls the first one?
I thought Demon Souls.
Demon Souls is the first one.
Okay, so it's a Dark Souls remake.
PS5.
No, there's a Demon Souls remake. Dark Souls 1 got a remaster.
That's it, the remaster.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
The Dark Souls remaster is what I got hold of. It's one of those games. I don't know what to tell you.
That game. It's literally that.
Just
game.
that game.
What?
It's that game.
Where'd you get it at?
I have it on computer.
Oh, you got it on Steam? Oh, okay.
It's on computer. I got a hold of that. It's good. It was fun. But it is that game, right? Like, it's just what you know.
Dark Souls 1, I think, is more of a... I don't know. It's tough, because the way that you approach these, or the way that, like... I think it's harder to go back to the old Souls games without any nostalgia for them in any like meaningful way, like outside of like what you're talking about, like just doing a dabble, because you got in at Bloodborne, right? And then you went straight to Elden Ring from there. So you have the one that, like, Bloodborne is faster, it doesn't really play mechanically like any of them, but still has like the overall Souls feel to it. And then Elden Ring, which is everything culminated that they have learned from Bloodborne plus all 3 Dark Souls games diluted into a single combat system, like with that one. And I think you could probably, even at the remaster, I'm sure when you dabble, like, you could feel the age of Dark Souls 1 immediately.
Yeah, you can. It's still good. Like, I've always wanted to go back and experience some of the others because I missed all of them, right, until I got into Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So I'd like to play more. It's just one of those things where, like, when I was trying to dabble in a few games to see what would stick, it didn't really grab me at the time. So
Yeah.
I don't think a Souls game is what I'm looking for right now. But it was fine. It was fine to experience. When you say it is that game, like, you go in and you get your weapons and it drops you this big boss and you hit it twice. You're like, well, clearly I'm not supposed to beat you. And you're right. They want you to run away. And then you run around and you level up a little bit with your powers. And they're like, hey, now go fight him again. It's like, okay, great. Thanks, God. Anyway, they're all that game.
Enemy comes out of a corner, stabs you, and you die. You're like, fuck.
Dude, I was immediately like 10 minutes in this game, I'm like running up some stairs, just like
Right
my own
shield.
business, and a fucking rock comes rolling down the stairs and hits me, and I just went like,
That's fucking game. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That game, I'll tell you, you barely have felt the tip of that game's dick. Like that game has more. Like in Elden Ring and all those other ones, they've toned it down over because people were always like, "Hey
fuckery.
man, like I'm down with like a punishing hard thing, but there's some like environmental stuff that you do that's really fucking stupid." And like Dark Souls 1 was before they learned any of those fucking lessons. So there's some things that happen later in that game that are just like certain enemy placements or things like there's like an infamous like if you ever like actually play it. I want you to stream it because there is some like stream it for us. I mean,
Sure.
or on the Twitch, whatever you want to do. But there is like some infamous parts of that game that are just like, why would you do this? But yeah,
okay. So I dabbled in that. I think the only other thing I'm trying really hard because I feel like I dabbled in a couple of different things. But nothing like I said really grabbed me. But the one thing I did dabble in that I've actually really enjoyed so far is and I'm gonna say this wrong because I always have to look it up where the A is in this word. Inazuma 11.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh dude, that game I've only heard about it a little bit, but like the crazy ass soccer JRPG thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
a JRPG. So I did.
There is
I
some
knew,
soccer in it apparently at the end.
So I knew that like you have to go through an entire JRPG before you play some soccer. So in the beginning, I was like, well, let me just go to the soccer mode and play soccer, right? Because I want to see like, is this even engaging compared to like how much Rematch I played, which is like
Sure.
a character action soccer game, right? For all intents and purposes.
Basically.
Yeah, so it is very different, but I enjoyed it. It's fun. They have some weird JRPG things in it to where like when you come up to somebody, time kind of like slows down and freezes, and you battle. So like they stick their arms out and like strafe side to side, and you can like dodge and power through it. And sometimes like when you go to shoot, they'll put literal like brick walls or castle walls in front of you that you have to break
God, so
through.
you're describing Blitzball now.
Well,
It's not far off. So and then like with the
This means that this is your new current game of the year.
So anyway, I've been playing a lot of it. So it was fun. I did win my first like just match to try it out. They didn't give me anything too difficult, but I like the goalie kept stopping it. I was getting pissed, and then towards the very end of the first match I played, I scored in like the last 30 seconds, and the goalie like does this big like hand thing and goes to stop it. The ball still powers through. It hits him in the chest. He does the anime like flip backwards, and it rolls in. So very different than Rematch, but very fun. So I started playing the actual game. I'm like 2.5 hours in. No soccer yet. All Persona. So you're just high school. You're just living your day in the life of high school and it up. I've helped.
You're living your dream of being an anime soccer kid.
Yeah, I've helped I've helped one old woman around the town to like play her Pokemon game. I've taken some photos for a kid that's heard of like some weird little like monsters that are around town. I've battled a lot of people. So to battle them, you literally just paper rock scissors them. But like they'll do a lot of times they'll do 3 people at one time, and they'll all have like a different like paper rock scissors.
Sorry, did you say paper rock scissors?
I said what I said. And like what'll happen is they'll have a little timer going for like their action. So you have to like focus on the timer, like who's gonna do an action first, and then I gotta do the opposite. And then it's absolutely bonkers. But it's fun. I hope that one day I can complete high school and I can play some soccer. Because like
soccer game. Yeah.
And to my knowledge, it's a long game, so you're buckled in for a little bit.
So here's the crazy thing about it too, right? Like it is a JRPG with some soccer elements, and of course, like a typical JRPG game, they'll be like, "Here's your book of accomplishments, like things you can do throughout the game," right? Kind of like Yakuza, like any RPG game, how they have their challenges, and one of them is like recruit 300 total players because you're trying to recruit friends. Like recruit 300 total players. I'm like, I don't think this game even lets me start playing soccer until like the end of it. So how long?
I think they sprinkle it in throughout the game, and then like the end of it is basically like, you know, you get to do like a whole like a tournament maybe. I don't remember.
It's a pretty funny story. I'll give you guys the quick premise. I don't think it's spoilers because it's just like 2 hours into it, so I don't know any spoilers. But young kid was a soccer player when he was very young. He had soccer, his one love, like ripped away from him because he has like asthma. And he just can't put that much of a stress on his lungs and heart. So because he's so distraught, he leaves his school to go to another school where soccer is banned, so he never has to think about it ever again. You know, the problem is like it's all he can think about, and of course there's this like one like super cool kid at school who's like the bad boy, and he's the best person at soccer in the school, but like he wants to play soccer, but his rich dad wants to send him to America to get better education, so he won't let him play soccer. So your character is like, well, I can't play what I love, so I'm going to become the manager of the soccer club, and we're going to recruit all these people to restart the soccer club up. The game lets you, like, the game makes you create your avatar, so like I created me. And then as soon as you hit play, they go, yeah, so anyway, you're going to see you, like, walking around the school, but you're not going to play as you. You're going to play as this other kid. So, like, I occasionally just pass me standing there, and I'll go to talk to me, and, like, it hasn't come to the point where I can interact with me, so I just kind of, like, look at the character and I'm like, what do you want? And that's...
It's just bearded high schooler just walking around. I can't even recruit him in soccer.
Bearded high schooler.
And I picked like the biggest kid too, because I'm sure you've seen it. So like not only is he like a little bit taller than a lot of the other kids, but he's a brick wall. Like he's like shaped like a trapezoid, right? So his shoulders are 3 feet wide, his waist. It's very funny. But I am the biggest thing walking around, and I could just
can't miss him.
It's ridiculous. all that to say, it's ridiculous. But the animation is incredible. There is one part where like the baseball team is the big popular team in high school, and they like make fun of soccer by just like putting on these shows on the soccer field, and it shows them like hitting home runs with an old soccer ball, and dude, and they have this huge like. The main character can't handle the way they're disrespecting soccer, so he wants to like show them what's up.
Are they even really disrespecting soccer?
No, they're not, dude. They're not. And like this whole scene, it's fully anime, like animated in an anime style. So this whole scene's incredible, and it's just like any typical like shonen anime where the kid's like, I can't let them disrespect it, and the kid that's like the bad boy is like, who cares? Like it's let them do what they want to do. Like I don't care. I'm too cool for this. And your character just like grabs him by the shirt and pulls him down. And he was like, why would you let them do this? Does it not hurt your feelings? Like overcome what your dad wants you to do. It's so over the top. And then of course
ridiculous.
You convince him that you need to restart up the soccer club, and he literally just like takes the ball, kicks it up in the air, jumps 100 feet, spins 50 times, kicks it as lightning strikes the ground, and then the ball shoots 1,000 miles an hour and hits the baseball player like in the face and knocks him down. And everybody's laughing. I'm just like, it's
he's
the most
guy
anime
from
thing.
Mighty Ducks that can do like this, like the bad kid who can like do the powerful shot. Like that's who that is in this.
Except the kid with the powerful shot was like goofy because he couldn't stop, right? Like he could only go fast.
Oh, he wasn't good at ice skating.
Yeah. This guy's great at everything.
Well, yeah,
he was like a child prodigy. Yeah. So it is so ridiculous. But anyway, I've played that. It's fun.
Well, I
I'll
can't
play
wait to
Soccer
see
Wars.
your fucking 80-hour journey across whatever this game has, or however long it is.
I'm sure it's gonna be long. So yeah, so that's my week. That's all I've done.
Right on.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you for joining us all this week, everybody. Don't forget to check in with Preston later this week for Star Wars Saturdays and Sundays. Wrong day.
There you go.
Sundays. I know.
Paper, rock, scissors, man.
Everything is
week.
dust. The world is a
Like
black
3
hole.
years.
So, okay. Sass of
I mean, the sass is
Oh,
so
I held off for
needed.
56 minutes.
So, anyway, join Preston on Star Wars Sundays, and don't forget to check in later this week as we have our final part of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. So,
Yeah. And then we'll hear what the next game is, too.
and we'll hear what the next game is. Cool. So, with that, everybody, thank you once again, and Preston, you know what to do.
Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.